Hey everybody, it's Schuyler, and you're watching Ambiguity Fridays with Schuyler. Welcome to this channel if you haven't been here before. So this week's topic is talking about our biggest personal struggle in life. So it took me a while to think about what one topic I wanted to think of, because as a person who has, a lot of problems, and I don't want to go through all of them, but some person has I have other personal struggles, and a lot of them are important, and a lot of them I am proud of overcoming. But I was trying to figure out which one did I want to talk about, and which one was the most important. So what I came up with was this. I have always had a problem being too suggestible, being too susceptible to what other people thought of me. And I don't mean that in a very vain way. I wasn't like, oh my God, I always have to look a certain way for people. I mean, sure, I had times like that, but what I'm saying is I had a problem distinguishing what I thought of me and who I thought I was versus who other people thought I was. So that was the biggest problem. And it was really hard for me to distinguish where one ended and where the other one began, and if they were intertwined or if they intersected or whatever. So it started obviously with my parents, and I think everybody has a problem, distinguishing themselves from their parents at first, because, you do what your parents tell you until a certain age. So it was hard for me to stop doing what my parents told me, because I was just very rule driven and very, this is how it's supposed to be, and this is what I do, and this is who I am, and that's what everybody says, and that's it. That's it. But at some point, I learned that that wasn't getting me where I wanted. It wasn't making me happy. And it was kind of driving me into a hole. And so through therapy, through treatment, etc., I learned that I had to start having a sense of self that was driven by me and not by other people, and not by other people's words, and not by what other people wanted me to be or who they thought I was supposed to be. And I kept on trying to fill this box of who I was supposed to be and who I thought I was because of other people. So, and I'm not blaming other people. This is my struggle. This is my personal thing. So over time, I learned that I had to go back and say, okay, if I'm just sitting in a room all by myself, at the end of the day, am I happy with the things I did that day? Am I happy with my actions, my choices, that happened that day? And if I said no, I was like, well, why? Why am I not happy with this thing that I did? And ultimately, it was because I was trying to do something that filled somebody else's box of who I was. And it takes, I think everybody does this to some extent. I just had trouble letting go of it, I think, for longer. My best friend always tells me, you always say your mom said this, or so-and-so said this, or, your friend said this. What do you think? What is important to you? And the first time she said that to me, I was like, I don't know, nobody had ever really directed a question at me like that and said, no, what do you want, Schuyler? I don't care about other people's thoughts. I want to know what you want. So that was huge for me, realizing that I needed to start thinking more for myself. And I never really thought of myself as a person in the crowd or somebody who follows a leader. I did my own thing. But for some reason, things were still skewed by what other people thought of me and who other people said I was. So the two tricks I use to help me with that is one, thinking about sitting in a room by myself at the end of the day and with nobody else there, am I happy with my decisions? And the second thing is I ask myself, what would my 8-year-old self think of me? Because when I was 8, I really didn't care what other people thought. I didn't actually have that many friends, so I was so focused on what I was doing and animals and books and reading, because I was a nerd, that I just was me. So when I think about myself now, if I'm scared I'm deviating from a path that I want to take, and maybe I'm deviating because I think somebody else has influenced me or whatever, I think about my 8-year-old self and I say, okay, what would he think? What would that little boy who knew exactly who he was think? And if it's no, that's not what I think that Schuyler would want to be doing at that point, then I try to think, okay, what am I doing this for? Why am I not doing what I think is true to myself? And I reevaluate, and I take a step back and I try to decide what I think is good for me. So yeah, I think that's probably my biggest personal struggle, and I carry it around with me every day. It's not like a huge weight or anything, but I just have to I'm just careful about trying to decide what is good for me and what I want to do that was going to make me happy. Because as much as I try to please other people, because I'm a people pleaser, I guess that's another way to say this whole thing is I'm a people pleaser and a perfectionist and I want to do things well. But anyways, you know, what, aside from other people, what do I want? What do I need? What is going to make me lead a fulfilling, happy life? And oftentimes I have to reevaluate what I'm doing because I don't always follow that path. Now, of course, there are times, just as a disclaimer, of course, there are times when I have to, you know, push aside my goals to help somebody else or to be a good kid to my parents, etc. But the ultimate goal is to lead a life that I can enjoy because it's my life. And I'm the only one who's going to be living with me for the rest of my life. Those are my babbling words of wisdom. I don't know if they're actually wise, but I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm going to be making a video with my best friend, who I mentioned before. We're going to be doing the best friend tag later, probably tomorrow, maybe the next day. I'll post it probably by Sunday. So if you guys have any more questions for her, for me, and how our relationship is, do comment below. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for my next one next Friday, and also the rest of the guys and the people on this channel. Thanks everybody. Have a great weekend.